So, Christian, let's hear from you.
Dalu Ekele in his absence, Mr. Chairman and Lord Bishop represented. Ndibai Ekele Mulu. So, I know Amaka bridging the gap between expectations from defending government na atwanya na ndi obodo n'aka ndị obodo na ife ndị obodo na-atwanya n'aka government etinyere ọrụ. And the first thing I want to say is that there is a breakdown of trust between the government and the governed. And onye ọbụla nile anya ka Nigeria dị, onye ọbụla nile anya ka South East dị today, mana ọ bụ na ya resolve for the trust issue na South East nwere ike in the next 2, 3, 4 years. Ụdị ife ga na-eme na South East anyị agaghị ekweta oge mere. Anything, and someone said that we're already halfway in. Anything, okay, I've got Nigeria, I know, not football. I know, the people I see is not that portion. The others in Nigerians like enjoyment that never in our lifetime I can even suicide bombers. Today, if there's a news of suicide bombings in Nigeria, it becomes an everyday affair. There are some of the things we take for granted and we assume erroneous in Ogeme in the Southeast. There's a huge breakdown of trust between the government and the governed. And if this trust divide is not closed immediately, some of the things I got in the Southeast in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, people will ask if Ogeme in the Southeast. And that's why I thank JDPC Awka and their partners for organizing this town hall meeting. The first is that government always communicates to impress. Be a communication specialist, sir. Oftentimes when we hear the government 100 times speaking, 99 out of it is to tell us what they've done, what they've done, what they've done, what they've done. So they are communicating to impress. Government is always in constant need of looking good, right? And oftentimes when they say what they've done, when you look at Napoleon, now what done, they don't say, "Man, how can you tell it?" Without attacking your government, sir, some of the community choose your project initiatives. Obiefuna billboard. Awka Township Stadium. It was on a billboard completed. It was on the posters and leaflets and advertorials government Chima campaign for election in 2017. Walk into that township stadium today, after now walk into that place. So when people see Ife di Ocha, Madije Makano microphone on a platform, nefu no dioji, and oftentimes in the matter by your government, a chasing no so far Ife. Okay, you are not looking at yoga. You wonder, only or feel comfortable. No, not to say. Ikepolune chasing na ife dinisi so mili. Kona imula namnegi. Kona ijera popo. Kona agotarom. So, open and the man na fife na church is an odioji. All that will breakdown of trust. If you say na get your charge, and then you say you can back on what your change. Today, Mbana Southeast, although it's often exaggerated, is not a herdsman issue. It is a foremost issue, and often discussed about that is the wider implication that a lot of people are afraid, whether genuinely or not, I don't know, but a lot of our people are afraid of Ifana or conquest. And these are legitimate fears of our people. The 5 Southeastern governors at Abuja, and it appears that perhaps out of political correctness, and perhaps out of personal interest, or perhaps out of sheer timidness, fail to articulate and represent the interests of our people. If you need in Abuja, Opposition so Igbo. Nkene Ute Culture Bible communicate issue 5 days ago talking about Ebube Agu. She just showed me a headline, Dinner Need Online today. I see a bubago, a fearful tiger, or a nature bank is called Naumede. And he joined in back before the guys again. In fact, I'm assuming that a lot of people will tell you now, because if you look at the substance of the communique issue, they did not address the meat of the matter. They did not address legitimate concerns of the people. They were about political correctness. And when people have interest, burning views, a lot of places in the southeast, Anambra East, a lot of places in Anambra today, and in several parts of the southeast are under siege. Our governors are interested in issuing communique that does not represent the fears of the people. That is where the trust issue is broken down. No, even at church, and I'm not the first known a Jew. Tomorrow you cannot tell me anything to convince me. Today, I've said it elsewhere, that if moderate voices fail to discuss these issues in the open, that extremist voices will step in. And our people, fearing for their lives, will, although Nafama that these people are extremists, and although Nafama the dangers of extremism, will run to them because only they didn't do extremism. Today, there are voices discussing Fulani herdsmen. They are not moderate voices. But because moderate voices, people who are elected to discuss these issues, have refused to discuss these issues. And let me be bold to say it here. We are witnessing the early stages of terrorism in the southeast. Are heroes. This is how it always starts. Okay, Boko Haram bido, ndi mmadụ na-akụrụfa aka na ha na-arụ ọrụ obodo. Oge militants bido na south, ndị mmadụ na-atọkọ ndị ọcha. Ndị mmadụ na-akụrụfa aka na fa na-arụ ọrụ obodo. Onye ọbụla maka insecurity si bido ma na-enwe an omnious cycle. We are not discussing this. We are issuing communiques. We are saying we are standing with the federal government. Ndị by governors na-akpazi maka operational modalities of ndị police. Now where IGP here sends na monitoring squad. The wages in even the Basandi police, or if you have 5 Southeast governors. These are some of the issues that when we look at, you see the breakdown of trust between the government and the... The second point I want to raise is that we talked about Magna Carta and the history, so I will not repeat it. But a lot of people making our decisions today are very far removed from us. I'll tell you 2 stories. First, in 2016, I was working on a project, and I was having a discussion with one of the project consultants who happened to be in government when it was invoked to ban Okada. Among Muneluto Ghana ban Okada, ban in the north, ban in the south, ban in the west, it was all ban on Okada. We were thinking that ban is Okada, insecurity. That was the explanation. Wasn't that? Yes. Abba ban is Okada. Insecurity of Kusigo. But that's not my point. My point is that a lot of people in that government that were advising the government to ban Okada, one of them openly told me, in all the days of her life, and she's past 40, heading to 50, she has never for one day entered Okada. But she had a moment of epiphany when Omana Prado Jeeps and Ebula, they were in one of the communities. And the way on and Azumo to honor, they were from Hani, Jelo harvest, cassava harvest the new Okada. Mama no go Jijori the new Okada. Okada because they are Nazu. Yeah, she saw the importance of Okada. Now this place is Emuruzo. And therefore Okada have a very important aspect of these people's lives. Obode Emuruzo, how many dual carriageways came in Anambra State? How many came with a Navy? Manani Piba, Abba Soka don't know when Azulumoto, but I have Fuza Agania. In the highway streets, the even. For public transport to Pusizegi, we get how many miles we buy in a beggy with if you type in a ban Okada. So some of the people discussing ban of Okada and some of the people who were in government talking about ban Okada does not have appreciation of the issues. And these are people making policies for us. The second point is one of my colleagues, and I'm not saying this because you see when we discuss these issues, it's always elitism versus masses. And it's not that, I'm not doing class wars. Man, I personally know people, and you might know some of them, sir, and you might know some of them. In the past 17, 20 years, Hababere motto, God is good, J Lagos. Come on, fage me, Faba flight, Ja Abuja. Sisi Abuja buy another connecting flight, J Lagos. Obona Afro motto, they would rather prefer to land in Port Harcourt within the escort, be able to say from Port Harcourt. Ine Nandi Army, Nandi Customs, no. They don't understand it. In everyone else, they say Lagos maybe. Because having a network news by then, I want to say a portion of the road. So when we begin to have people who are making policies for us, and in one of the books, Walter Lippmann in his book Public Opinion, we're saying that the society is rigged. Nandia entrust to take decision on our behalf are people who are supposed to have all the aggregate information they should have to be able to take the best of decisions, but he was arguing that because of the opulence and lifestyle around them, that they are too blind to see it. I am telling you today, the governor of Anambra State does not know what is happening in Anambra State. The paraphernalia of his office, another backup vehicle, emergency ambulance is there. And this is not just Anambra State. This happens in the southeast. This happens in the 36 states of the southeast. This happens in the federation. And I apologize if the government feels slighted by this. I am not attacking Anambra State. In fact, I reward it. It is not in Anambra. It happens in the 36 states of the federation. Is that a better way to look at it?
All right. I think just wrap it up so we can move to the next.
In my summary, my argument is that Ogunandi Mad buying a public office found way the knowledge that a lot of the things are around that public office, because we must protect them. I get Facebook, I get backup vehicles. That's what they are entitled to. But in that opulence and state house and everything associated with power, that they should not lose touch of the pains and sufferings of the ordinary people. Thank you.